All right, welcome to the final matchup, the main invitational scratch tournament, October 18th, 2015 at Sparetime Recreation in Augusta, Maine. I'm James Goulding, your tournament director and commentator. With me in the booth is none other than former USBC Women's All Events champion Mallory Nutting, who also competed in the tournament today and finished in 3rd place. Say hello to everyone, Mallory.
Hello.
And we also have some color commentary coming from Nick D'Alfonso, who competed in the tournament today. So say hi, Nick.
Hello.
All right, so this final match is between top-seeded Aaron Thiboutot and 2nd-seeded Joe Ramsdell III. We had 69 entries in the tournament today. We paid 17 spots, and these top 4 bowlers really grounded out on a really tough oil pattern. It was the Kegel Sphinx oil pattern. Pretty flat. It was basically 2-to-1 from like 10 to 10. I want to say it was like 1.58 to 1 from 10 out. So it was a pretty tough oil pattern. And our bowlers really struggled to, you couldn't really find anything at the gutter. Both of you guys bowled on this pattern. How did you guys think that it played? Mallory, I'll start with you.
There's definitely very little miss room. I thought I had a game plan going in and had to change it when I started. Tried to play it up, pretty much up 8 and play it pretty straight, and was hoping for all of those last few boards into the pocket. Anything outside was definitely not coming back.
Right. How did you fare on that, Nick? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, what Mallory said is exactly correct. I mean, you have anyone trying to go up the board, you had to do exactly that. You had to keep it parallel to the lane. You couldn't try to swing it out to 8. If you were going to be on 8, you had to start there. And if you missed inside, it was going to flag the head pin. You were going to be hitting 2 pins as a righty, hitting 3 pins as a lefty.
All right, so to start the match, Aaron Thiboutot started with a 6-2 open frame. Joe Ramsdell, being the champion that he is, capitalizing with a strike in the 1st frame. So I'd like to thank our tournament sponsors here while we get started. Moore's Pro Shop, Brunswick Bowling, BowlingChat.net, Bowl Pro Sales, and Maine Clockworks. Joe Kenny at Maine Clockworks made a beautiful Sphinx clock for our tournament champion today, and Joe does great work. Check them out on Facebook under Maine Clockworks, and Joe Kenny does amazing stuff with a variety of different things. Moore's Pro Shop sponsors our Bowl of the Year competition, so the season-long Bowl of the Year that we carry, they'll get their choice of bowl and ball at the end of the year from Moore's Pro Shop. And Brunswick Bowling, we can't say thank them enough. They give us a raffle ball every month to add money to the prize fund. This month's ball was a Brunswick Mastermind Einstein, won by Chris Goulet. And Bowl Pro Sales gives us a bottle of Knockout Ball Cleaner every month, and the winner of that was Jeff Cole. So you see there, basically Joe takes a 22-pin lead right off the bat on Aaron after only 2 frames. Aaron looks like he's struggling for some ball reaction. Looks like he's balled down to looks like a ride, a Storm ride. It looks like what he's using. Looks like a pearl-urethane.
Yeah,
or a real weak resin, I believe, is what it is.
Kind of the same thing I was talking about, where you can't get it that far right that late. Now, if you were to start it that far right, like Mallory was doing earlier, that's a line you can play, but you can't have it that far right that late.
And again, that one just struggled to recover a little bit. So Aaron is now 15 after 2, but he had a few games earlier where he just battled back. He was able to put together 4 or 5 strikes in a row to get back in a match. So certainly not over, but definitely needs to get going. So we'll just go over the qualifying numbers real quick for you. First squad this morning, our 7 qualifiers were Valerie Talberry, top seed with a 903, Mike Boston 806, Curtis Harris with a 793, Sean Graff with a 788, TJ York with a 788, and Andy Park and Mallory Nutting both with 762. And 2 of our 3 at-large come off that squad, Nick Furrow 752 and Chris George 749, who actually won in a 3-way roll-off to get that last spot with 2 other bowlers. Second squad today, the leader was Bob Nile with an 848. Second, Nathan LaJoy with an 835. Third was Aaron Thiboutot with an 832. Fourth, Sean Steinmark 805. Gary Robinson 799. Joe Colcord 762. Jason Ward with a 759. And our last at-large was the bowler you see right now, Joe Ramsdell III. Well, not right now, but bowling in this match. He was the last at-large with a 757 on that squad.
So what you saw right there, I mean, he tried to ball up a little bit. He went to a rocket and got it a hair inside, and that was the other problem with the pattern. And I don't want to say problem, but it was one of the more difficult things of the pattern was you miss a couple boards inside, you try to ball up, and it was going to flag the head pin. We saw that right there.
Mallory, when you bowled 2 matches here in the stepladder finals, winning your first match and then losing to Joe Ramsdell in the semifinals, what did you see for a ball reaction? It looked like for a while you were using a thug unruly for a little while, and then you balled at the end of that match to something else. What did you move to?
I switched to my thug corrupt. It's drove a little longer. My unruly was starting to read a little early, and it would either not finish or it would, like Nick said, flag the pin, just kind of go a little heavy there. And the corrupt goes a little bit longer, so I was getting a cleaner reaction on the back end.
Yeah, that was definitely the key, because you were playing just inside of 10, looked like you were right around 12 or so with the arrows, and just that ball just picking up on just enough on the inside part of that pattern where still with a little bit of surface, maybe a little lower pin, which is breathing a little too quick.
Yeah.
And that corrupt looked like it gave you a super clean look to the back end part of the lane, and I'll tell you what, that was an exciting finish to that match. You guys came right down to the last ball. So our 17 qualifiers bowl an eliminator game. While we have a second, you have Joe Ramsdell III going a little high for an 8 count. Pretty easy 2-4 spare for him, pretty good spare shooter. Sitting on a 43-pin lead after 2, so you know, I don't think there's any sleeper there, but he's in good shape right now. Just covers the spare and he'll be all set. So our first eliminator game at 17 bowlers, top 8 advanced out of that. So the top 8 from that were Joe Ramsdell III, Aaron Thiboutot, Valerie Calbury, DJ York, Kerry Robinson, Nathan LaJoy, Mallory Nutting, and the last qualifier from that was Sean Grass. Finishing in spots 9 through 17 in order were Mike Clausen in 9th, Chris George in 10th, Joe Colcord in 11th, Bob Nile in 12th, Jason Ward in 13th, Sean Steinmark in 14th, 15th place went to Nick Furrow, 16th was Curtis Harris, and 17th was Andy Park. So then those 8 bowlers bowled one more game to determine our top 4 stepladder finals, and the other 5 through 8 got paid out. So the 4 bowlers that made it to our stepladder finals were top seeded Aaron Thiboutot with a 638, second Joe Ramsdell III with 617, third Nathan LaJoy with 611, fourth our last qualifier was Mallory Nutting with a 609. And then finishing in 5th was Valerie Calbury with a 584, 6th was Sean Grass with a 579, 7th TJ York with a 567, and 8th place was Kerry Robinson with a 559. So then, go ahead, Nick.
No, I think what you're seeing here is Aaron's kind of in like bowling purgatory here, where he tries to ball up and move left, and he's flagging the head pin, and then he balls down. It won't make it back, so he's kind of in purgatory right now. It's like it got to a point where you couldn't move far enough left because it would still hook, you know, and then you try to get it out and it wouldn't come back. You're seeing a prime example right there.
Yeah, he's struggling with some ball reaction right now. So our first match was Mallory Nutting versus Nathan LaJoy. Mallory wins that 205 to 167. The semifinal match, Joe Ramsdell III defeated Mallory Nutting 235 to 213. Really was a great match. I mean, the 10th frame was good. Mallory, you left a ringing 7 pin on the first ball in the 10th. Could have forced Joe to strike there to beat you, but I really think you had the right idea on the right side. You know, you put a little bit more speed on the ball. You go something a little longer pin, a little bit less surface. The straighter you can go with something with a bigger motor in it, like a thug corrupt, I think that's actually an advantage to you. Sometimes when you go with some super weak equipment, even trying to point it to the head pin, it's hard to get the corner pins out. You know, you just don't have, you know, the dynamics in the core to get the corner pins out. So I really kind of like your strategy, and I'm wondering if Aaron watched any of your game to try to get any tips, because it looks like he's trying to stay with kind of what worked with him earlier in qualifying, and these lanes here are definitely not playing like they were in qualifying.
No, that unruly is actually what I finished with in qualifying. I threw the demon behind for a little while, and then switched to the unruly and had a better look with the unruly, but I definitely knew it was time to put that away after the first match.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing with Mallory is I don't think I saw her miss to the right. And like most people's misses to the right today were, you know, 210s and washouts. Her misses to the right, she was leaving 2 pins and buckets and things that were easy to pick up. And so every time I'm watching her, she's squaring up, and she had very little misses to the right, which was fun to watch.
Well, she's not a women's all events champion at Nationals for nothing.
It's true. It's absolutely true. And you see Joe here going back to Old Reliable High Road, which I think has been in production for Storm for about 8 years. It's just one of those balls that won't go away. I think it's one of their best-selling balls of all time.
And you see it looks like Aaron switched back to, I want to say it looks like
I think it's a rocket.
A rocket, yeah. I'm just wondering if that's going to be the right move where he's playing that 100 lane right now.
Yeah,
I just don't know if it has enough. I don't know if that ball has enough motor. You know, because it looks like he tried to get out a little, tried to play the edge of that oil line, and it just doesn't have the legs to make it back.
It's like he moved his feet a little farther left on that shot too.
Yeah.
The biggest difference is that if he moves right, he's got so much side rotation. I don't know if he could get it to hold line, whereas Mallory, who's playing more like 40, 45 degrees axis rotation, he's more like 60, 70, and he's also a full roller, so I mean that's a big deal right there. That's going to make the ball really jump up if he tried to move right. I think he'd be going even further left in the head.
There's a nice cover right there by Aaron, and you know we'll see. It's basically go time at this point. You know, you're down 56 pins here in the 5th frame, and you know your opponents hit the pocket about every shot but one, making his spares. So Aaron's gonna have to try something drastic here, and he throw the ball great all day. Watching him throw the ball.
276.
Yep, 276, and it was amazing to watch.
Maybe game 4.
And that, you know, actually he came back. He had a 4 game 3. I want to say he shot 138 game 3 after a couple of 200 games, and then kept his composure. Came right back, shot 276, got himself into the match. That actually didn't look too bad off his hand, and I see that it still picked up.
Yeah, even that when he balled down to I think a ride, it's still overhooked. I think the right side just got beat to crap today, and you know, Joe with his speed control, the guy knows how to throw at the same mile per hour within a half mile an hour every single time.
Well, it was just like, you know, you watched the last match, you had a battle with Mallory and Joe where you had 2 bowlers that were both around the pocket just about every single ball, and both bowlers, the similarities are not just that, but they were both taking the lane out of play a little bit, not swinging the ball so much. And when the lanes get super tough like this, you really have to try and take the lane out of play as much as possible. I mean, you know, it's just like when you go to nationals, you have to take those lanes out of play a little bit, or else you're going to just, that'll get you alive.
Yeah, they don't say straighter is greater for nothing.
Absolutely. Out at nationals, that's always what I found to be the best game plan, is to pretty much go in and play somewhere between 5 and 10 and just kind of roll it right straight, like you said, they play parallel.
He's barely belting the ball right now. He's getting it down about 12, and I don't think it's going any further out than 7. I mean,
right.
With his speed control.
Yeah, and you know, I bowled on this pattern Friday night, and I found actually the best move for me was on the left side, was to move right and to stay away from that and not get the ball outside 7-8 on the left side. That's going to be it.
And that's the difference right there. So he goes 14-15 board at the arrows, and you saw the result. That much of a difference.
Oh, there's definitely no forgiveness in the center part of the lane here. If you miss with your speed or your target, you're in trouble. So just to reset the scores here for Customers, he was 64 pins up in the 6th frame with a strike in the 7th. He covers this 4-7. He'll maintain that lead, but you know, Aaron is working on the strike. If he could somehow find a way to put something together in the 8th and 9th, and he's going to need some help from Joe. Big time help.
Yeah, I think the right side just been beat down so much. It's really rough. It favored the people who wanted to go straighter and hamstring. Right now, that might not be the play.
I'm wondering if the play might be, and I saw a few right-handed bowlers that were able to do it, get so far in so that you're basically in around 25 and getting the ball out to about 12, 13.
Pretty much like what he just did right there.
Exactly. He made that big move in.
Yep.
I think if he made that move in with something that just a little bit, either more cover or a little bit bigger engine in it, I think that might be the move. But some of the righties I saw that had some success, the ones that weren't playing straighter, were so far inside of everyone else that they kind of gave themselves a little bit of a fresh look. So Aaron comes in, gives him 101 in the 7th, down 64 with 2 frames to go. It's pretty much just filling the frames out at this point.
You know, I think as bowlers, when we're bowling on a typical house shot, you know, we're always looking for hold. You know, more than looking for a bump off to the right or the left, hold is what helps us with our next shot. So when the hold is gone in the middle, it makes it really difficult.
Yeah, I've always said hold is more important than hook.
Oh, absolutely.
Especially on the outside part of, you know, when you're talking from 10 to 10, that's where you need a little bit of hold to just give you that little bit of inside miss room. You know, if you want to take the outsides out of play, you can kind of, you know, fiddle around the first few games, sanded equipment, try to break the outsides down, but if you don't have the oil in the center part of the lane or it's a lot flatter pattern, it definitely puts an increase on shot making. And you look at the bowlers that qualified here, they're all shot makers. You know, you got Joe Ramsdell, Mallory Nutting, Aaron Thiboutot, and actually one of our Canadian friends, Nathan LaJoy, who came down to bowl with us today. Incredible bowler. All 4 of those bowlers can just make shots and keep the ball in play. That's so key on this. You know, you're not going to see those bowlers ever give up or ever give up pins if they can help it.
Yeah, I mean, you're always looking for the biggest margin for error, and, you know, it always gets taken away in these kinds of tournaments, but these guys found it. They found the biggest margin for error. And whether that was, you know, 4 or 5 boards, it was more than most of us felt like we had out there, you know?
Joe just right there. Yep, just sawing out 9 pins down. Joe basically taking a victory lap right now.
Having deja vu from Bayside here.
Aaron. Someone can tell me he just go up and finish it off. He doesn't have to wait.
Aaron.
He didn't have to wait, you know what I mean?
I don't think so.
You can go up now. Yeah, you just been around 13. Might, yep, that one helps.
His speed
this is kind of deja vu.
Amazing.
Deja vu from last month where Joe Ramsdell gets in the final match, you know, finds a look in the semi-final game and then kind of starts steamrolling it. Just having the bowlers finish up the game here. While we have a minute, we're going to tell you next month the main invitational scratch tournament goes to Yankee Lanes in Brunswick, Maine. November 8th, 2015. Squad times will be 8:30 and 11:30 respectively. You can email me at ajsoxbats2002@hotmail.com to send in your reservation, and please let me know which squad you want in that. And just while we got a second, I'd like to congratulate Joe Ramsdell III on winning back-to-back titles in the 2015-16 season. Only 2 tournaments in, and he's looking real strong in not only the Bowl of the Year contest, but really to make his case to get into that Master of the Lanes tournament at the end of the year. Our top 10 in the Bowl of the Year points qualify for our Master of the Lanes event. The winner of that gets a spot in the 2017 USBC Masters tournament. And there's the end of the match right there. 245 to 146 victory for Joe Ramsdell III over Aaron Thiboutot. I'm James Goulding. Thank you very much, Mallory Nutting, Nick Alfonso for helping us out on the telecast here today. And we'll see you guys next month at Yankee Lanes in Brunswick.